Lots of people upset with me what I'm going to do here, but you know what? That's the way I got to do it. And anyway, look at this flywheel. It's absolutely a mess. I mean, what am I really in danger of destroying here? I'm going to have to try to weld that up, clean up this broken fin, clean up this nasty weld here. And I want to mount my lobe, my timing lobe, but I can't because I don't know why. I'm guessing it was from the factory. I don't know. There's a part of a number there. We'll leave that be as the flattest surface. But I got to take this rib off here. And I got this. This is about the sketchiest I've had this setup. I really can't go further out on the compound or cross slide. And when I am able to clear, man, I am just going to be clearing. I don't know if you guys see that down there. That is close. So, see what we can do. Stick you on the tripod. Get this knocked off here. Like I say, you know what? If this flywheel is perfect, I wouldn't be bothered. I just leave that be, and I would make a little step probably for that when I do my 3D print. But I'm just going to knock it right off there. There's plenty of material on the side here. It's not like I'm going to be worried about having, nothing left. Because realistically, the thickness I'm looking for is the thickness I already have on this side. So let's get you on the tripod. Let's knock that edge off. By the way, before I even start, let's just look at how much clearance I had. I got a 10-inch swing, and boy, I am really close to the bed. Close to everything, actually. And I mean, I could have went a lot bigger on the jaw, but it wouldn't have mattered because the flywheel width diameters is just that big. Every once in a while, do a check. See what we got. It's coming. Taking most of it off that side, as you can see. Alright, so I found a deeper reaching right hand tool, and I was able to face the whole thing. Like out there. One place, I'm going to guess that this is where it hit the ground or something, because if you look at where all the damage is, it's on these two fins, and it looks like, it must have, who knows, fell, hit, put a bit of a bend in there, and you can definitely see it. See that gap there? Right there. And I've already taken a bit off, right? So that would have been more extreme had I not taken any off. But there we are with everything else nice and flush. Nice and level. So we're not going to take it down any further. I don't think it's worth going any further just for that little bit. Maybe I can clean that up a bit and make it look about the same. But we've eased the edges a bit, kind of put a slight bevel on them. And yeah, as far as, and also, what's nice is what I probably should do is reach in and just clean up the inside. My boring bar, clean that up and face the bottom because I know the outside, basically everything is, while we're turning it now, we don't have any run out this way. It'd be nice to do the inside too, so that when it's all mounted up and turning, the whole thing spins kind of, without wobbling. Anyway, I think that's good enough. Got a taper pin in, and overall it looks pretty good. Like I said, we'll clean up the fins. So this obviously got dropped. Like I said, obviously got dropped. Now, look at that. That is not terrible. You can see a bit of wobble there. but I'm going to show you where that's coming from. I've actually seen considerably more on much larger engines where that vibration would turn into something very serious. So that's actually pretty good. Let me just get you on the overhead and you get a better look at what's actually going on here. So there you can actually see where that and the flywheel wants to go to the lowest point just because of the weight. But there you can see. And if I kind of indicate a little bit for you, just hold something close. There, you really see the wobble there. So that little bit is not, I wouldn't even bother trying to straighten that crank, to be totally honest with you. So well, we got a bit of a win there. So we'll stick with that. And we'll go about making up our 3D printed ignition trigger.
I hear it.
Here it comes, the howl of power from Sonic Sound. Now, when you pull that T-stick, those SSP racers howl with power. Dig that action. Crash 'em, smash 'em. New SSPs with Sonic Sound. Super Stalker, King Cobra, Detonator. Kenner's SSP racers for 72 now with Sonic Sound, each sold separately.
I've got a new SSP. So have I.
Okay, let 'em go. Some of the great SSP racers for 72. Scorpion, Hustlin' Hoss. And there goes Juices Wild and Ramjet. Dig the SSPs for 1972. All with the new howl of power of Sonic Sound. SSP Scorpion, Hustlin' Horse, Juices Wild, and Ramjet by Kenner, each sold separately.
All right, well that's, you guys, I don't know if you guys have these, you usually see them on Air Tools. This is what do you call it? Band file, electric band file. They're really good for getting into the corners and cracks and kind of contouring things. Other than that, you can use a Dremel or you can use an angle grinder with flapper, whatever you got. So basically, I've got this pretty well smoothed up. You guys saw how rough it was before, and it is not as bad now. Maybe a little bit more here and there just to finish it up. It doesn't have to be perfect. What I'm gonna do is, well, first I'm gonna turn the light on. Oh, that's off. First what I'm gonna do is, I think you guys saw there were some cracks there still, and you can still see a crack in there. So we're gonna tack up that, weld that crack up. Weld up the crack. You can braze it. I just MIG tack it. It's already holding on really well up on top, so it's not like I'm worried that it's going to fall off. It doesn't have to be welded in two places. It's just cracked at the bottom. So we're just going to weld that up, get a little bit more light on this subject, and tack it up. And then we'll probably see if we can, as you can see, I already kind of smooth this out. We'll see if we can build this part up. Build this part up so that it's more like, you know, one of these blades on the side here, right? Kind of straight with a bit of a curve and more of a turn. Looks like I'd have to add a fair amount, but I don't know if I'll get it exact, but basically all I'm going to do is build up weld and then grind it back down again. See what we can do. Can't make it worse, right? All right, this is kind of a just trial by fire kind of a deal. So basically just make a tack, see what it looks like, adjust the heat if you have to. I got it set to 17 volts. Let's see what we get. It's always a good idea, or I find it's a good idea. It's up to you guys how you do it, but I let it cool down and do a few tacks, let it cool back down. I don't get it too hot. I mean, there's a lot of impurities in that casting, so brush it off, get the crap back off it, get lots of gas into it. Make sure your gas is working. And like I said, just keep on making tacks. All right, so we got both sides weld it up. Like I said, a bunch of tacks. Like I said, I think I said already, I'm gonna say it again. Do whatever you want to do. You know, if you want to braze it, go ahead. If you want to weld it, go ahead. It's your stuff. Is it the best way? I don't know. It's the best way for me. So yeah, that's warm, but not really hot. Oh, it's hot, but it's not super hot where you can't touch it, right? And that's, I just finished welding it. So like I say, just tacks, tack, tack. And now I'm just gonna grind that down and see what we end up with. All right, that's what we end up with. That is not bad. It looks like a crack there, but there's actually not a crack still. It's just a bit of the weld, a little bit of the edge of the weld there. Hey, you know what I was gonna mention to you guys? I gotta finish up this side yet, probably do a little bit more fill so I can contour a bit more. Is that, like when you do a little repair or whatever, people are probably gonna know it's been repaired, but you don't have to, it doesn't have to look all gauby and ugly. Like you can, you know, you can take the time to build it up and to grind it down, build it up some more, grind it down, and you can kind of just smooth it in, right? It doesn't have to be all nasty looking. So many times I see these repairs, I'm like, man, like that guy not have a file or a grinder? Yeah, I'll give you another tip. One second, let me grab this up here. So these band files, I like them. You know, you can't do a lot of side to side unless you do it kind of delicate. But if you want a cheap way to get new sandpaper, what do you call it? Whatever. Grinding paper. It's grinding paper, sandpaper. Is I just take the wider ones, you know, that you can get for the belt sanders, and I just cut strips. I get the right distance, you know, the right diameter, and then I just cut strips. You know, I'll probably get one. I probably get 3 more out of here. I get four out of one. You know, when you're buying band file strips, for one of the small ones, it costs you as much as a big one. So just get a big one and just cut it into strips. Like, it's not that hard. Just keep a straight edge and cut a new straight edge. Save yourself some money. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this up. I'm all done. I'll turn you guys back on and have a peek at it.
He's a demolition demon in a beat-up Chevrolet. It ain't worth $1, so he wrecks it every day. Now here's Kenner's SSP smash-up derby set, and you can hoot and holler 'cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Crash, bang, crack 'em up, put 'em back again. Crash, bang, smash 'em up, it's smash-up time, my friend. Kenner's SSP smash-up derby set comes with everything you see right here.
For cool summer splashing fun, get Water Wiggle. It's fun, it wiggles, it's wild, you bet. Just try to catch it and not get wet. Water Wiggle, it's a crazy way to cool off. Slide into exciting summer fun with the Jet Spray Slip and Slide, the sliding, slippery way to cool off. Hundreds of water jets give you fun action. Slip and Slide and Water Wiggle sold separately from Whammo.
Wild, new, fast, furious, and fun. That's Parker Brothers' exciting family game, Bug Out. All of you try to hook the crazy-looking bug out of the cage. And when you do, you yell, Bug Out. First player to hook him out 10 times wins in this fast-action fun game for the whole family. From Parker Brothers, Bug Out.
All right, so you can see we filled in a pretty big piece there. It's like having a big cavity in your tooth, and it's mostly all filling. But you can see we kind of dipped way down into here. You can see that. You can see where we started building it up down in here. And that should be good. Actually, you can see it better on the other side where we dipped in. So that's all joined in. That's gonna be fine. So we are good here. I think that's it. But the only thing I could maybe do would be sandblast it in the cabinet, but we'll see how that goes. We'll just scrub it down with some cleaner and be done with it, I think. Yeah, I would just scrub it down. We don't need to blast it. It'll just kind of look weird if we do. All right, that's it for the flywheel. Yeah? Well, what do you think of these? I gotta tell you guys, if you ever see these kicking around at a sale anywhere, buy them. I was fortunate enough to get these for 30 bucks. And I actually missed a couple one time. The guy just took them to metal recycling. He couldn't seem to get rid of them. I think he was asking 10 bucks for them. You can actually get them pretty cheap, but then every once in a while you'll see someone sell them for an arm and a nut, basically. But these are screw jacks. So these are made by Illinois Iron and what else were they called? The B. Illinois Iron and Bolt, I think it is. Illinois Iron and Bolt Company. It's a 1 3/4 by 8, 2 by 10. 2 obviously is the screw. That's a pretty big Acme screw. 1 3/4 screw. 10-inch lift. Truth be told, distance between there and here is actually 9, and between here and here is 7. So who's going to argue about an inch, huh? These are, you can use them for a multitude of things. They are, people used to use them a lot for house jacks, you know, moving houses kind of a thing, or just jacking up your house to put in a new supporting beam. The top swivels and is slightly adjustable this way. You can put a long bar in here. Man, you could probably put a, whatever, 8-foot bar. These have been used, as you can see. They're kind of wallowed out a bit. So they have been used. Got nice handholds down here. Original color green with probably a red topper. Oh, this has got green on it, so who knows. So they came in a few different sizes. They went from like a 1-inch by 6. So it'll be a 1-inch screw by 6 or 5 maybe, the way we're talking about it, to a 3 by 24. I mean, just imagine a 3 by 24 3-inch screw, 24-inch lift. That's enormous. As they sit, this one's 14 pounds. This one's 26 pounds. And go ahead, you guys just guess what this will lift. These are called railroad jacks. Sorry, locomotive jacks, actually. Locomotive jacks. They made house jacks as well, but the lifting head was a little bit different from these ones. Locomotive jacks. So 25 ton, 20 ton. I mean, that makes that about the most stable jack you'll probably ever use. And what's nice is you can lift in real fine increments, which is the reason I like these. I would like to have a matched set of probably, well, whatever size, because, you know, 2 by 10 is pretty useful. This size is pretty useful. I would love to have a matched set of these because, as you know, if you're trying to level something, three points of contact make a stable plane, basically. But if you're trying to adjust something, you know, you're lifting something pretty heavy, lifting something even small. I mean, realistically, this very slight increments because of the Acme screw. There is no play on these. You know, there's basically no, there's going to be some lash, but there's virtually no lash on an Acme screw because of the way an Acme screw is made, matter of fact. Man, what else can I tell you about them? And these are just like freaking butter. They're made in Carpentersville, Illinois. And you know what? That's about all I know. I don't really even know the age, but I'm going to hazard a guess at 1930, 1940. They're cast. They might be older than that, but I don't know that I'd go, yeah, maybe 1940-ish. Who knows? Something like that. Made by Vulcan. Anyway, Illinois Iron and Bolt Company. Say, if you can get your hands on some, pick them up. Probably the sturdiest, sturdy, they could tip, but the strongest jacks you'll probably ever find.
Parker Brothers' new Gnip is very easy to play. You simply try to gnip your 3 balls through the hoops into the other side, and the other guy tries to gnop his 3 balls into your side. But while you're gnipping, he's gnopping. You're trying to out-gnip him while he's trying to out-gnop you. So gnip down to your store and grab the new game from Parker Brothers before they're all gnopped. From Parker Brothers, Gnip.
Look! Here comes a super slider. Whip whiz whistle with super slider snow skates. Just fit them on your boots. It's easy to be a super slider. Tough plastic snow skates. They're wild. Wow! You can really ski. And you can really skate. Shoot, score on the snow in your own backyard. A brand new sport. Be a super slider snow hockey superstar. Easy to control. Super slider snow skate. Just slide. One size fits all ages. Lightweight. Just skip uphill and you're ready for more super slider thrills and great fresh air fun. Streak. Now you're a super slider rider. $2.99. Super slider snow skates.
Crazy carpet. Hop on and get set for the most exciting ride of your life. Crazy Carpet is the new space-age plastic slider. Safe, lightweight, easy to handle, wild. Pilot your Crazy Carpet over any surface. Sand, grass, snow. Crazy Carpet. Only $2.99 or $3.99.
At all great discount Super X and Cunningham's, a great Christmas gift for great snow fun.
I don't think you can make parts faster than that. It's insane. Just making the timing lobe to the top of the flywheel. Here's the bottom piece that screws go through, this mounts on the other side. And that's going to be a timing lobe with the offset. That is only half as fast as this thing can print, which is unbelievable, really. And there you go. That's the 2 parts made in about, well, maybe 5 minutes take to make those perfectly lined up holes. All right, don't get too confused now. You're seeing like some black ones, black parts. You're seeing some green parts. I just happen to have some old PLA that I had to get rid of, or I want to get rid of, so I could change it over. But anyway, there's the offset we were talking about. There's what we have on here now in green. Let's see here. So the timer, basically, it's just a micro switch, just mounted. This block I'll change to a piece of 3D printed material. That's just a piece of twisted bar. It's mounted so it's close to the flywheel. And then there's your lobe. I've got that set so it trips with the piston pin, or the piston at the top, just before it top dead center. There's your wiring hookup. I'll explain that in a second once I get this all unhooked and don't electrocute myself. Hot lead, high tension lead coming off to the plug. There's the ground part to the plug, going to negative on the battery. Can be either way, doesn't matter. Electrons aren't too concerned with which way they flow. And then so this is your primary circuit here, primary circuit, same thing on the other side. That's how it works. And if we're lucky, we should see a spark when this trips. Flywheel goes this way, which is just doing that. And because they work really well too with Model Ts and anti-hit miss engines, should work just fine here too. Obviously, the faster that goes, the more often that spark's going to happen. Yeah, it's kind of frightening, huh? Don't stick your tongue there. Here, shut some lights off. Oh, I shut some lights off, other lights come on. Okay, whatever. I'll see it in the dark. Hold on a second. Feeling around. There's something here somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to show you how this micro switch works. You got two positions on a micro switch. You got normal open, normal closed. So normal open would mean that the switch is always not connected, and normal closed would mean the switch is always connected. So the pathway runs through from here to here, and that's how it works. In this situation, we would set it up so that it runs normal open, so that when the cam lobe touches, it goes normal closed, which is the completed circuit. So just to show you how that goes, you have one in one lead, which is the common. The other one is the normal open connection. You can get these micro switches on Amazon if you're looking. You can buy them cheap, real cheap, matter of fact. There's the data on the side, if that helps you. Common, as you can see, like I was saying, common, NC, and O. So anyway, timer goes around. Sorry, lobe goes around. It goes this way. The thing about a two-stroke is it could actually go either way. If I just flip the timing so that it came here, which would mean moving this guy up or making a very long offset. That's where that offset comes in, right? Remember all that? So you could actually run it this way if you wanted to. But normally you run it this way. That's usually how they run. There you go, see it? Goes NC. So it's OL, open loop. Comes up, makes a connection. Then that completes your circuit in your primary windings in your coil. Pretty simple. That's all there is to it. Hey guys, all right. What do you want to do? Does it matter what you want to do? What do I want to do? Oh, I got a hammer here somewhere. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. We got to make some gaskets for this engine, and show you how I do it. I don't know. Some people just order them, right? I just make them because they're pretty easy to make. And I have lots and lots of gasket material of various thicknesses. This is, doesn't matter really what it is. You guys got to decide what it's going to be best for you guys, but that's 30, I even wrote it there, 30 thou. So basically just take it. This is for this fuel tank, by the way, which means the whole centerpiece is going to be left as a piece of gasket for something else. We just need one to cover this area, right? Matching up the mating surface. So gotta cover the bottom here, cover the side edge so we don't have to do a whole lot of cutting. And then it looks like we're pretty good. We got that covered, we got that covered. We're all covered here. So that's it. All right. Ball peen hammer, that's how I do it. First I'm gonna find these marks where these bolts go. Over here. Just use the ball end. So I am not beating the hell out of that, just so you can tell. What else? We gotta dig that out of there. Hold on a second. We got a poker here somewhere. Clean that out of there. And what I do is I just take a couple of the bolts, run them in there just to hold it in place. Whichever ones fit. some pretty heavy material actually. And so that's held there. I don't have to worry about it sliding away. You can even just mark it and then take a punch if you want to. Knock that out. Clean up. Okay, so that's all cleaned up. Take the rest of these out. And then we're going to just use the hammer in kind of a sliding fashion to get our edge. And that edge is sharp enough that it kind of just trims that as we go along. And if it doesn't trim it, at least it makes a mark for you to pull it off, and use your scissors if you want to, but I think you probably all agree that this is a little faster than scissors there. So that is the outside. Bingo. So now we gotta do the inside, huh? Get that started. Oh, what's there? There's something there. Oh. And I mean, there are companies that make gaskets, and they do a nice job of them. But kind of nice doesn't really have a whole lot to do with this. The purpose of the gasket is just to seal the mating surfaces anyway. So if that does what it's supposed to do, then there really is not any problem. Okay, so you're inside. Bingo, one gasket. And then this goes on top of there. So how's that? There's a 5-minute video on how to make a gasket. I mean, you could trim that up real pretty. Matter of fact, if you use a different, this one's really heavy, it's 30 thou. You could probably use a 10 thou gasket and it'd be a lot cleaner cut. But you can see that that's gonna seal up perfect, really. So you make a gasket.
Whammo presents the Firetron Formula Super Ball and super elastic bubble plastic. Plastic bubbles from a tube. Just squeeze it out and blow it up. They last and last. Firetron Super Ball gives you 50,000 pounds of compressed energy for crazy bouncing tricks. Firetron Super Ball and Super Elastic Bubble Plastic, sold separately from Whammo.
You Fly It, a brand new skill toy from Shopper. Compete with your friends for perfect landings, cause you control the speed of the Piper Twin. You control the glide, and you control the landing. You Fly It is just as exciting indoors. The plane glides along a line that you control from a cockpit. You fly the plane for a perfect landing. And with practice, you can pilot the plane around and over obstacles. You cleared it, but oh, you goofed the landing. You Fly It is Shopper's new action skill flying toy that you can fly outdoors or indoors.
Fly the scale model plane on a 40-foot glide line and try to land it on a 6-foot runway. You fly it with cockpit, scale model plane, 6-foot runway, and 40-foot guideline. From Shopper, the Cootie Company.
All right, you guys want to see me make another another gasket? Well, I had you guys shut off. I made another one for the main bearing. It's pretty fast, like I say. Here's another way to make a gasket if you just want to make a template, and then you can transfer that template to something else. Is my hands are dirty enough, but just take your dirty hands and you can define your edges pretty quick. Make sure your hands are dirty, good and dirty, and then like that. See what we got there? Defined edge, and then I bet you I can find the holes somewhere. Yep. Same thing. Push down with your dirty fingers. Good dirty hands helps. Don't wash them for like a week. I've used this before when I want to make some templates. There you go. I didn't draw it, I didn't measure it, I just trace it with my dirty hands. Then, so like I said, I would just generally, sorry, I didn't do the rest of it. I didn't do the inside, but you know, you guys get what's going on here, right? The same thing, you kind of just use your dirty fingers to define. Like so. Then I would just cut that out. Take my hole punch, knock those holes out, and I would transfer that onto a piece of...
They're slugging it out in the middle of the ring! And there's a hard drive to the job! And Blue Bomber's block is knocked off! His block is knocked off?
Sure, but you can press it right back on again. It's just part of the action with the world's only boxing robots, the Rock'em Sock'em robots by Marx. Takes 2 managers to handle the fighters and lots of skill to win. With these control levers, you can keep your fighters in motion to duck punches. When you press this plunger, he throws a right uppercut. Press the other plunger, and there's a left jab. Lots of exciting action and fun for everyone when the world's only boxing robots battle it out.
The Blue Bomber's looking for an opening, and there it is. That's the end of round 2.
Just push the flying head back, and you're ready for round 3.
Boy, this is the greatest.
You bet. The world's only boxing robots. Get the Rock'em Sock'em robots by Marx.
You're about to see something incredible from Tyco. Silver Streak Curve Huggers now defy gravity as they hang on through Tyco's new double loops. But that's not all. Turn out the lights. See the headlights go on. Watch the whole set glow in the dark for real night racing. And light up your youngster's face. Night Glow Double Loop Racing. From Tyco, of course.
Anyway, back to what we were doing, right? Forget about that. All these magical tips and tricks. All right, cut this out. Say, make sure you square it up. Knock out your holes first. If you're not comfortable pounding away on it, just do this. Right, just do that first. And then take a hole punch, whatever size is going to fit your need, and then just punch out your holes, right? You can get those pretty cheap. Up here in Canada, we got a place called Princess Auto, and they've got lots of handy stuff, things like that, transfer punches, etc., etc. I don't know where I have it, but I already did one. Didn't really matter. You're not going to break the casting. Just don't beat the hell out of it. All right, so we got a couple set in, same as before. Set your bolt down there. You don't really have to run it right in. You're just Just holding the material in place. Okay, good. I always kind of take a look so you're not smashing around somewhere else. Sometimes a smaller ball peen hammer, sometimes a bigger one. Right? Choose the tool that best suits what you're doing. Poke yourself in the finger with your ice pick. It actually is kind of satisfying. Beating the heck out of something. Which I'm not. I'm not beating the heck out of it. Put a couple more if you're worried about it moving on you. Same again. Okay. Do the outside. Choose whatever end works best for you. Usually what I do is, once I got like a nice long edge, I don't want to kind of beat at it. I kind of slip at the same time, and then it tends to cut while I'm doing that. Now, you know what? You don't have a real good edge there. I'm just going to leave that be for a second. There we go. You can just finish that up with the scissors. Inside. You can seriously give it a try sometime. A friend of mine, Zach Northway, his company, Flywheel Supply, they make gasket sets for near every antique engine out there, and they probably make them for these too. Ta-da. Done. On this one we got to make a little cut, so that's going to go here like so, and we got to make a very thin edge gasket for here because that's going to make an interference for us there. I think it will anyway. We'll have to check. We'll take this, flip it, put it on top, and if we're covering the transfer port, we'll just have to cut away a little bit of that gasket there so it doesn't interfere with the suction of fuel. Don't ask me how I know that, because somebody screwed up one time. There you go. Just a bit of a cutaway. Trim that up a little bit more probably, but that'll work just fine. It won't slip because, like I say, the bolts will hold it in. Good. We're almost done.